Russia, 1672, a land of icy plains and ancient forests, ruled by czars, absolute monarchs with a will of iron. In this world on June 9th, a czar was born. His name, Peter. His destiny, to reshape Russia forever. Peter's father, Tsar Alexis, ruled a vast but backward empire. Isolated from the West, Russia lagged behind in technology and ideas. Alexis, a reformer at heart, dreamed of change, but fate had other plans. Alexis died when Peter was just 4 years old. The young prince, a sickly child, ascended the throne with his half-brother Ivan V. But real power rested in the hands of their ambitious half-sister Sophia. Peter, relegated to the background, spent his days in the village of Preobrazhensky. Here, surrounded by commoners, he developed an unusual fascination with all things military and Western. He built a play army and staged mock battles. Little did anyone know this playful boy would one day become a warrior czar. Peter's early reign was marked by turmoil. Sophia, the regent, clung to power. She had little interest in Peter's military games or his growing fascination with the West. Her focus remained on court intrigue and maintaining her own authority. In 1682, a revolt by the Streltsy, the fearsome palace guards, shook the Kremlin. Peter, a boy of 10, witnessed the brutality firsthand. The experience left an indelible mark on his psyche. He developed a lifelong fear of rebellion and a ruthless streak that would define his reign. As Peter grew older, his authority increased. He began to challenge Sophia's regency. His fascination with shipbuilding and Western technology intensified. He realized Russia's backwardness made it vulnerable. He envisioned a modern army and navy, a country that could stand toe-to-toe with European powers. The clash between Sophia and Peter was inevitable. In 1689, at the age of 17, Peter made his move. With the support of loyal factions, he overthrew Sophia and seized control of the throne. The reign of the boy Tsar was over. The era of Peter the Great was about to begin. In 1697, Peter embarked on a journey that would change Russia forever. He traveled incognito to Western Europe, a radical move for a Tsar. His mission to learn the secrets of Western technology and modernization. He worked as a common shipwright in the shipyards of Holland, mastering the art of shipbuilding. He visited factories, hospitals, and scientific institutions, absorbing knowledge like a sponge. He met with scientists, philosophers, and artists, immersing himself in Western culture and ideas. This journey was not just about technical skills. Peter was on a quest to transform Russia from a medieval backwater into a modern European power. He returned to Russia a changed man, his head full of radical ideas. Peter's journey to the West was a turning point in his life and in Russian history. He had seen the future, and he was determined to drag Russia, kicking and screaming if necessary, into the modern world. Upon his return, Peter unleashed a whirlwind of reforms. He was determined to westernize Russia, even if it meant challenging centuries of tradition. He knew modernization required more than just technology. It required a change in mindset, a break from the past. Peter's reforms were sweeping and often shocking. He banned traditional Russian dress, ordering men to shave their beards and adopt Western clothing. He introduced Western customs and etiquette into the Russian court. He reformed the army, creating a modern fighting force based on Western models. He modernized the Russian alphabet, introduced the Julian calendar, and founded the first Russian newspaper. He encouraged the study of science, mathematics, and engineering. He opened Russia to foreign trade and investment, inviting Western experts to share their knowledge. Peter's ambitions extended beyond Russia's borders. He yearned for a warm water port, a gateway to the West that would allow Russia to project its power on the world stage. This ambition led to a clash with Sweden, the dominant power in the Baltic region. The Great Northern War, which erupted in 1700, became a defining struggle of Peter's reign. It was a brutal conflict lasting for 21 long years. Peter suffered humiliating defeats in the early years of the war. However, Peter persevered. He rebuilt his army, learning from his mistakes. He proved to be a brilliant military strategist, leading his troops to victory in several decisive battles. The Battle of Poltava, in 1709, a crushing defeat of the Swedish army, marked a turning point in the war. The victory at Poltava secured Peter's reputation as a military genius. It also shattered Sweden's dominance in the Baltic, paving the way for Russia's emergence as a major European power. In 1703, in the midst of the Great Northern War, Peter founded a new city on the shores of the Baltic Sea. He named it St. Petersburg, after his patron saint. This city, built on swampland at the cost of thousands of lives, was to be his window to the west. St. Petersburg, with its grand avenues, elegant palaces, and Western architecture, stood in stark contrast to Moscow, the ancient capital. It was a symbol of Peter's vision for Russia, a modern, outward-looking nation integrated into European affairs. Peter spared no effort in beautifying his new capital. He invited architects, sculptors, and craftsmen from all over Europe to contribute to its construction. He ordered the nobility to build palaces and reside in the city, making it the new center of Russian political and cultural life. St. Petersburg became a symbol of Peter's ambition and his success in transforming Russia. It remains one of the most beautiful and historically significant cities in the world, a testament to the vision of its founder. As Peter aged, the strain of his relentless reforms and wars took a toll. He became increasingly autocratic and ruthless, suppressing dissent with an iron fist. His health, always fragile, deteriorated. His son Alexei, heir to the throne, opposed his father's reforms and plotted against him. Peter, heartbroken and enraged, had Alexei arrested and tortured. Alexei died in prison under mysterious circumstances, a dark shadow on Peter's reign. In 1724, after a lifetime of pushing his body to the limit, Peter fell ill. He died on February 8, 1725, at the age of 52. He left behind a transformed Russia, a nation on the cusp of greatness, but also a country grappling with the legacy of his often brutal reign. Peter the Great's impact on Russia cannot be overstated. He was a force of nature who dragged his country into the modern world. He expanded Russia's borders, built a powerful army and navy, and established Russia as a major player on the European stage. His reforms, though often brutal and unpopular, laid the foundation for Russia's emergence as a great power in the 18th and 19th centuries. He modernized the Russian state, army, and society, paving the way for the country's cultural and scientific flowering in the centuries that followed. However, his legacy is also complex and contradictory. His relentless drive for modernization came at a high cost. His reign was marked by autocracy, repression, and forced labor. His reforms often widened the gap between the elite and the peasantry. Peter the Great was a man of contradictions, a visionary and a tyrant, a reformer and an autocrat. He was a giant of a man, both physically and metaphorically, who left an indelible mark on Russian history and culture. He was a complex and fascinating figure who continues to inspire debate and discussion centuries after his death. His life and reign offer a glimpse into a pivotal period of Russian history, a time of profound transformation and upheaval. Peter the Great's story is a reminder that history is not a simple narrative of heroes and villains. It is a complex tapestry woven from ambition, vision, brutality, and the enduring human desire for progress.